Just thinking, things you have that I'm always reaching for. My coffee, but it's always right here. Gum, handy. These things or flavors like it. You don't have to cook it. Just grab it and eat it. Fills you up. I got my gum. Lip Sol. Your lips really get dry on this road with all the dust. It's nice having what you need, and instead of looking like I was the first day. You're always looking where you put stuff. It's nice to have it. That's it. These are the little things, little treats along the way. Besides that, it's scenery and driving, pounding the miles away. I got all my gear on, 4 layers, 3 to 4 layers. Even I got covers on my boots. And they actually work. I bought them for the rain, in case I was driving in the rain for a long time. But even the wind and these frog tugs, I tell you, like to cut down any little bit of wind that would get in your regular suit, they're friggin' ideal. And I even used the hood in my helmet. I get no wind at all. No cold air in my throat, in my helmet. Cozy. You're just sitting and pounding miles, and there's no air coming in anywhere, like cold air, unless it gets down to about probably gets down to 0 to -6. That's the coldest I think I've seen so far. Wind chill was a lot colder. I don't know what it got down to. Plus, I think the wind with gusts were up to 40 kilometers an hour last night, or when it's cold, like below 0. You have that wind, plus you're driving into it, so the wind chill, I don't know, but the bike, like, I can't complain. That last hour last night, I'll tell you, longest kilometers of my life to get to that Mirage. My fingers were getting cold, and yeah, I was glad when I got there. I'll admit it. You can get in trouble out here. You may think you won't, but you can. Even if I blew a tire before I got to the Mirage during that last hour of driving, like if I had to repair a tire, as soon as you get off the bike, your hands come off the heated grips. Your fingers are numb, and that'd be shitty. Trying to find your stuff and fix the tire, pump it up. That would have been almost too much, believe it or not. That's how cold it was getting. So, besides that, like, the sun's out right now. I'm glad I left, because this morning it was -6 or -8, I think, at the lodge, at the Mirage. I thought, God, and it would have been so easy to hang out another day. I was tired. Slept so good last night, but I was still tired. But I'm so glad I left, because you can get caught up here. That's another thing. For this time of year, you can get caught up here. There's a certain temperature you can't drive in. I don't know what it is. Every bike is different. People are set up different, but you think about these things as you're driving when, all of a sudden you're feeling cold and you haven't felt cold for like a day. Something's changing. The temperature. Maybe you need food in you to get your body working, to make some heat, like it's little things along the way that, things are changing, and it's a good reminder that you're not as well as you were an hour earlier, type of thing. And I don't know. Nice time of year, no bugs here at all. You can stop and actually take your time, enjoy the scenery. But yeah, late in the day, or if a storm come in, you can get in trouble here, because a lot of the time there's nobody around, and you can be the only one on the road. And you have to think, what would you do, if you stopped and you had to warm up? You can say build a fire, but you know what? It depends where you stop, and you have to admit, things can happen quick here, and it happened twice to me now. Last night, that last hour driving to get them to the Mirage, And when I left yesterday, I drove to Brissay, and then 92 kilometers into I can't even think of the name, to the end of the James Bay, the Trans-Taiga road. That road was rough as hell. It was okay if it was a day you get up and it was only an hour from where you lived and you're fresh and you're going for a drive in. But when I went in, it was slowly getting colder during the day. It was 92 clicks in and it was slow. It had everything in the roads, every friggin' thing. Potholes, like, not just potholes, but like, it had everything you can think of on a dirt road for the first half driving in. Like, it was almost making you want to turn back, like, because you're thinking, you know. Anyway, make it into the end, and then when I turn around to go back to the Mirage, or get to the Brissay, you know, like, that's when I realized nobody would be in here. Nobody's going to be in on that road, because I drove in, I seen 2 trucks in there. They were driving out. But coming in from there, you're 90 clicks away, or 80 clicks, and you're driving slow, the road is rough, and you're thinking, there's going to be nobody coming in here at all. Like, you can guarantee that. And the road is so rough, the bike's taking a pounding. If you want to bend a rim, that's the road to do it on, I'll tell you, seriously. Like, it's something to think about. So, like, and I was thinking. But once I get to Brissay, even though I still had hours to go to get to the Mirage, you feel like you're in a town, you're around people, or at least you don't really see them, but there's stuff going on. There's factories around, or the power place, I guess. But I thought about it there, how you could get stuck in a serious situation, and it was getting cold, I'll tell you. It was getting cold, the wind was up, and it was below zero. And if you had to stop and do anything to your bike, or if you wiped out and you had to lift it and you're having trouble, maybe you dropped your bike a few times. I didn't drop the bike at all so far. And not that I'm a good driver, I'm just saying, you know, shit can happen to anybody. And driving in, how I did that road, I thought for sure I was going to drop the bike going in the road, let alone coming back. Like, I thought like I was accepting it in my head, just the way it was. Like, you just felt like you were going to go down. But anyway, I get 200 kilometers to go to James Bay Road. Not sure the time. I think it's around 1 or 1:30, or maybe 2. I don't know. And then I decide, go an hour north to Radisson, or 3 hours south to kilometer 381, where I can sleep there. I want to get south because I see temperatures looking ahead before I left the Mirage. When I was on the internet, things may stay cold up here, so this time of year you can get stuck. There's a certain temperature you're not going to drive in probably, and the gaps between, when you leave, you're committing to make it like 8 hours, 9 hours to get to a place where you can actually get warm. And like, I need this. I need my tank to get back out to the road and to kilometer 381. I can't do it without that tank, spare tank, 10 liters. And yeah, if you ever stop, make sure your tank ain't leaking. That'd be an awful surprise. If it was empty or half empty, could be enough to mess you up. And stuff like that. Anyway, I'm out. I'm gonna go.